This podcast is brought to you by Financial Fashion Company. I wanted to remind you guys to go check out our store. You can visit www.fnfstore.com, check out our positive apparel, and if you see something that you like, use discount code FNF10 to get 10% off your first order. Back to the show.
You are now tuned in to We Invest Different Podcast, where we have high-level conversations. I'm Mr. John Michael Best.
And I'm Victor Thomas II.
Let's tap in. And we back again for another conversation of We Invest Different Podcast. I'm host Mr. John Michael Best.
I'm your other co-host, Victor Thomas II.
And we live, man. How you feeling today, Vic?
Feeling good, man. Feeling real professional today, man. You know
I see you dressed up,
real
man.
professional, you know.
If this was episode 20, they'll see us live, man.
Yeah, man. We're going to see y'all real soon, man. But today, man, I'm just feeling good. Staying in a grateful spirit, man. Looking on the bright side. You know, sometimes, you know, things will try to come in my mind, creep in about, you know, uncertainty. Like I went to the car place today just to get an oil change.
Yeah.
And of course, they had to come out there and tell me everything else that's wrong with my car. So it's like, okay, we got that going on. So my mind is going to that a little bit, like getting that fixed. But, you know, it's one of those things that give me the opportunity to build strength in that area.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm grateful for it.
Right.
That's what I'm gonna do with it. So I'm doing pretty good, man. How about you?
I'm doing well, man. I'm really vibing high.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? I'm vibing high. Just got back from a doctor's appointment. You know what I'm saying? Seeing my son.
Amen.
So that's good news. That's good news. He's still moving. He moving in there, ready to come out.
Gang, gang.
Yeah, ready to meet him. You know what I'm saying? So that's the next thing. Baby shower on the 16th. So preparing to go out to Florida for that. You know, looking to take that trip. Hopefully be able to stop and sightsee because I know my girl gonna have to get out of the car and pee anyway.
Right.
So I'm like, let's make this trip enjoyable. You know.
Where would you want to stop though?
I'm a lover of nature. So maybe if it's a lake on the way or something, we can tap in. Or
Are they gonna go to the beach?
Small park. And I'm talking about when we get there, maybe. But I'm talking about on the way.
Okay.
Because you know it's like a 6 to 8 hour trip. We can get there in 6, but I already know how this trip finna be. It's probably finna be an 8. Yeah. So let's go ahead and just enjoy it.
All right.
But moving along, bro. I also wanted to tap in. I said also. I ain't even really have to say also, but I wanted to tap into a conversation that I feel like is very important to the culture, very important to how we live, very important to our community. And I'm pretty sure the audience will understand what I'm talking about once we tap in. But what I wanted to talk about is how important it is for your friends and the people that you got around you, your circle, how important it is for them to be on the same wave that you on.
Yeah, right.
Because like through certain experiences in my life, and I ain't saying like I had no real bad experience. I'm just saying that I've learned and I've watched, you know what I'm saying, the change that I've made in my life. And I've seen like me evolve in ways that my fam or friends hadn't. You know what I'm saying? So I've seen, you know, us get to the point where we wouldn't have nothing to talk about. Like certain conversations change. Like things change when, you know, you grow from certain things and you change the way you live, you know, and you just start putting your energy towards other things. But going deeper into the point of what I'm saying is like when you want to be successful, there are some things that you got to sacrifice. And sometimes we don't feel that the people around us is one of those things. It's like, because you can be, at the end of the day, you can be doing all of the necessary things you need to do. But if somebody in your circle is on something that's going to knock you off your game, it can harm the whole movement. So that's very important that we not only watch what we do, but we also have to pay attention to the people that we got around us.
Right.
So tap into that, Vic. Like, what you think, how important it is that, like, to pay attention to the people that you have around you, because like it can easily be a situation to where you can be in a business mindset, right? And you trying to work things out for the betterment of the whole team. But because somebody in the group is ignorant something happen and it mess up the business and it mess up the relationship.
Right.
So it's like, how important is that to you? And in your experience is that you pay attention to the people that you have around so that things go smoother in life.
Well, in all honesty, man, I'm actually in a situation right now where I'm kind of in that middle ground. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because I was moving a certain kind of way before, and now I have been in the process of changing how I move. So, of course, naturally, who I deal with going to have to change. So I'm really in that place of transitioning. And it's funny that you decided to talk about this, because I was actually just talking to my aunt yesterday about finding those right people to be around. Because for so many years, I don't want to say I was around the wrong people, because I learned a lot from them, but they're not the right people anymore. So I'm like, how do I find the right people for now? And he said, you got to go to where they at, where they hang at. You know what I mean? He said, you can't go to this place, you know, for the sake of example, I can't go to a club, you know what I mean, trying to find some gospel music artists. You dig what I'm saying?
That's fine.
But I think it's real important, especially based off what you said, is they could mess up the operation. Mm-hmm. But I also think it's important because when you got those right people around you, you know, when you go through that time when you start feeling a little discouraged, you can have those people in your circle to help keep you going. Right. You know what I mean? And I see that with me and you.
For sure.
You know what I mean? I might get a message from you. I'm like, let's go. You know what I mean? We own it. We need to get this done. Okay, bet. I'm back. So I think it's very valuable in that aspect. And as well, there's also it's a risk involved when you got people around that's just not on that wave. So, I mean, yeah. I think that's one of them things that we may overlook.
For sure, man.
You know what I mean? From a place of love, because we love people.
You just took the word. You really just took the words out of my mouth, because it's like, I think that's what keep a lot of us back is love. Mm-hmm. It's like not knowing how to balance that love though, because that's really what the fight is. It's like because obviously you love them, obviously, but it's like, how do I find that balance of where, like, how can I keep it respectful and keep the love? Because sometimes when you gotta put your foot down, and whether it fits in a respectful way or not, sometimes like when you love somebody and somebody feel some type of way about you in a good way, like their feelings can be hurt. Like feelings gonna be hurt regardless.
Yeah, ain't no way around it.
You know what I'm saying? When you gotta part ways with somebody, like, feelings gonna be hurt. And I think that's something that we all gotta deal with. But I'm just saying though, like, I feel like it's worth it.
Yeah. And
I'm getting to that place of growth and maturity to understand that. And it's like, it don't mean that, like, it's something shiesty. It don't mean that. It just means that you got a mission, and that your mission is more important than being emotional. Mm-hmm. Like, and you at that point, you got to put mind over matter, like, and you got to really prioritize, because it's like, you can love all day long, but if that other person don't want the same things that you want and don't want to work towards the same things that you working towards, then what benefit is there to have them around? Mm. So I think that's why we got to move with that mindset. It's not to throw off on nobody. It's just to say that for this particular thing, like, it's not good for what we got going on. Like, maybe we can do something else. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, so you mean like not have them involved in whatever you working on or something like that, but still be associated with them?
What I'm saying is, like, okay, like, sometimes you do have to cut people off. Mm-hmm. And then sometimes you may just have to move somebody around. But my whole point is saying that you still got to pay attention to the people around you. Like, that's my main point.
I got a question for you.
What's up?
So say if you was in a situation and you had a homeboy who was, you know, a solid dude, but he did like some sketchy things that would jeopardize whatever you got going on. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But in the back of your mind, you know you need to cut him off. You dig what I'm saying? But you know his story. You know, let's say for sake of example, he's struggling right now and he needs somebody. But being around him could definitely end what you got going on. What would you do in that situation?
Honestly, bro, I really lived through that situation.
Right.
So The only thing you can do is just move and do what's best for you. Like, and like, to deal with that guilt or whatever, like, do what good for that person that you can do. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you can't do that, even though you want to because you love that person, like, like, I know you're gonna feel bad about it, but the way to look at that is do what you can do for that person. Like, you ain't gotta make it like, oh, I can't mess with you, period. It's just like, okay, bro, like, this is what it is, but I might not be able to do this, but let's figure out something else that we can do, because this is gonna jeopardize that. So it's just a strategy, bro. I feel like we gotta move with a strategy. Like, everybody can't be on board with this. Like, sometimes somebody gotta take a back seat. Sometimes somebody might have to do something else. Sometimes we have to delegate and find out what else somebody is good at. But I'm just saying, for the sake of the whole movement, you got to pay attention is all I'm saying. That's like, okay, for that particular situation, okay, like, I want, bro, like, I got a brother right now, like, he got so much in him, but he don't really realize what's in him. Like, I can tell him all day long, like, bro, you got potential to do this, you got potential to do that.
Right.
They don't see it in themselves.
That'd be so frustrating.
Yeah, so it's like, what am I supposed to do? Like, ain't much I can do because they don't see it for themselves. Right. It's different from a person who in the situation and they see it now. Like, they kind of see, like, the possibility of a better life. You did what I'm saying? Like, if they can see a light at the end of the tunnel, that's different. Then I can kind of, like, hold your hand and pull you closer to that light. But then it's like, but if it's like, if I'm telling you, okay, bro, it's a light right here. But if it's like, if you keep trying to say, like, bro, I don't see that light. I don't see that light. I can't go crazy trying to show you that light, bro.
You ain't so can, bro.
Like, I can't allow myself to go crazy trying to show somebody that light if it ain't what they want. So the advice for that, if it's not what they want, and if they're not willing to sacrifice or change anything for it, then it's not for them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you got to be at peace with that. But that don't mean it's the end of the road for them, is what I'm saying. Still be positive and find something else. But if they don't want it, then it can harm the whole thing. Like, if they're not trying to get on board and do something and move like you trying to move and be on the same page, then it just can't happen. And I'm sorry. Yeah. Like, I'm sorry that we have to go through this, and I'm sorry that we might have to part ways, but I can't really hang around you like that, and I can't really spend as much time as I want to with you because you just be on some foul stuff, and I really can't. I'm not on that right now, although I'm not trying to act brand new. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to act brand new. I'm not trying to act like I'm better than you or nothing like that.
You know what? Hold on, but you know what? I don't mean to cut you off.
What's up?
But that make me think about when people, I want to say, elevate. And then people that knew him before they elevated, boy, you done changed up. You done switched up. You acting brand new. You know how I feel? Yep, I did. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And you should too.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I want to be brand new? Why wouldn't I want to change? You dig what I'm saying? And I think that's something that our culture need to shake free from.
That's big.
You know what I mean? I think that's why a lot of us stay stuck in these same situations with people, because we trying to keep it real. We got to stay solid. They're my day ones. You know what I mean? But these day ones weren't with you shooting in the gym, as our culture may say.
Yeah.
They was just around. They was cool to hang. Y'all hang or whatever, you know what I mean? But when it came down to putting in the work that made you elevate, they weren't involved. So why are we holding on to these guys if, what they doing could hurt us? Like, prime example, Mike Vick. You remember what happened with him and them dogs?
Yeah.
His cousins. And that's family. I know that's tough to have to cut off. You probably can't, because they going to be around.
Yeah.
But I think Mike Vick probably should have limited access if they're going to be doing stuff illegal.
Yeah.
That may jeopardize him.
And see, that's what I'm saying. Those are like the ends that we don't think we that's what I'm saying. That's something that we don't think we have to do, but it's something that we know we need to do.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you said in the beginning, like, you know for a fact that this not gonna work or something like that. But it's like that love, we tend to use that in a way to which it makes us, like, not smart. You see what I'm saying?
Love is blind. Have you blind in the mud, man.
But see, I don't really feel like, I really feel like love will show you where it's not love anymore.
How that work?
I'm saying, okay, like sometimes sometimes you can stun a person's growth. Yo, what's going on, podcast family? It's the CEO, Mr. John Best, and I'm coming to talk to you about Anchor. If you haven't heard of Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. It's free and it has creation tools so you can record your podcast from your phone and your computer. Also, Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Music, and many more platforms. You can also make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Now, if you're interested, download the free Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started. Now back to the show. Did you know stress is one of the leading causes of chronic physical and mental health issues? This is why we started this movement, MH10, Mental Health 10 Minutes. And we want to inspire everybody to take at least 10 minutes a day for a walk, jog, or run, or even if it's just a stroll in the sunlight to get some fresh air. The goal is just for you to focus on yourself for those 10 minutes. And what this does, it lowers the chances of you experiencing anxiety and depression, because we all know that stress leads to those things. So get outside today and take your 10 minutes. And if you want to post on social media, use hashtag MH10 or mental health 10 minutes. Now back to the show. Yeah, so like sometimes you can stun a person's growth by overstepping the boundaries, because to a certain extent, you got to allow a person to make mistakes. You got to allow a person to grow. But if you forcing their hand, if you always there to babysit and to show them the way, then are you really helping this person?
Real talk.
Like that sounds to me like that's selfish.
It is.
Like you want this so bad for this person, but this person don't want it for themselves. So because they don't want it for themselves, you trying to want it for them, and you forcing they like, and that's why a lot of people end up in situations where they get money stolen from them. They get in a situation where they get robbed, and sometimes it be worse than that because they have people around them, and you forcing them to do what you doing, and they don't want to be there, bro.
Right.
Like you trying to get them a job, but they clearly telling you, bro, I really want to be in the streets. I really want to do dumb shit. But you bringing me on tour. You giving me bags of money. You giving me all the weed I want.
Yeah.
Like, of course I'm going to do something stupid and jeopardize the whole movement. Because I've been doing stuff showing you that I don't want to be here.
Right.
I really want to be back in the environment that we came from. They really don't need to be in other environments. And it's some people that's like that. And because of that, I mean, I'm sorry, but you have to just let it go. You know what I'm saying? If they're not willing to change for themselves, you got to let it go, because you can't change people.
Right.
Unfortunately, you can't.
Okay.
You can do all you want to do for them. You can give them money. You can make sure everything is straight. And most of the time when you do all of that for people, they don't really understand the value of it.
Right.
They're going to take it for granted, because that's why you got to ask a nigga what they want. Like, what do you want?
What do you want to do? Real talk.
Not like, nigga, I'm finna bring you on the road. I'm finna do this, we finna do that. Now, one time you ask this nigga what he wanted. Like,
that could be selfish too.
that's what I'm saying. Like, it'd be a lot of selfish stuff going on, and then when niggas get dealt a foul card, then they want to sit back and do interviews like, these niggas done me wrong. These niggas did, these niggas did that. Like, bro, these niggas was showing you that's the type of stuff they like.
That's what they own.
So how about you use them for that?
Right.
Stop trying to make them a clean cut nigga when that's not their goal. It was never their goal to be what you trying to be.
Real talk.
Like, that's yours. Like, you need to take what you trying to do and don't try to make nobody else feel bad about what they doing. And that's another thing too. Cause niggas will make it and they'll talk down on the niggas for what they still doing. Cause you done changed and you done leveled up and you don't start doing better in life. You don't down talk your partner who y'all done did stuff in the streets with.
Right.
But you gonna down talk them. And that's one thing I don't do to my partners, bro.
Yeah, right.
Like that same person I'm talking about, I don't do that to him.
Right.
Like, I'm always spending time with him. I'm always gonna pull up with him. I'm always gonna, if he call me and need something and I can help, I'm there.
That's right.
Like, I don't talk down on him because I know he got a lifestyle. Maybe he got a lifestyle that I don't live like that. But so what? that's his lifestyle, not mine.
Exactly.
Like, I don't got to really talk down on his lifestyle because the main thing for me to do is not live like that if I don't want to. So why talk down on a person when I can have that reflect in the way I live?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
I think sometimes we try to force people into that because we have this vision in our mind of how we want things to be, how we want our world to look. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we'll paint somebody into our picture and we get locked in to that one part of the painting. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That got to be there. I want that there. Mm-hmm. I feel like I know that things will be great if I have this person here.
Yeah.
But see, that's when, we got to tell ourselves, let them people be where they at. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I notice that you got to kind of pull back and even trying to talk to them to do better.
Yeah.
Because I've learned from my personal experiences that you can try to talk to a person, but like you said, if they not trying to change, they not going to change. And that can be disheartening.
Yeah.
And that's when it's required, I feel, for us to use faith.
Yeah.
And not the kind of faith that's like, God, make it work this way.
Yeah.
Like, we try to tell God, make this person a college student. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But we got to have faith, not in just saying that God gonna make them a college student. No, we got to have the kind of faith that's like, God, make sure you do what's best for that person, even if it ain't what I want.
Yes, Lord.
That's faith.
Yeah.
See, a lot of times we get caught up being like, God, do it my way. Do it my way. But that don't even make sense because we don't even understand the whole situation.
Yeah.
We have our small perspective. And even if we do know a lot of the situation, it's impossible for us to know everything because we don't even know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Exactly.
This very person that we talking about, they may go through some kind of life situation. You know what I mean? And they might just change her like that in one day. But we don't know that. So we might have spent the whole week, hey, bro, won't you get on your shit? Bro, get on your shit. And it's not working, but we steady trying. Right. But God sent that one situation to bruh life.
Yeah.
And boom, it's fixed. You feel me?
Right.
So that just shows me that God is ultimately in control.
You're right.
Not us, but we try to be.
Yeah, we try
Make
to
it
tap
this
in.
way. Like we some architects. We the architects of life.
We want to be a savior, man. We want to be a savior.
That's it.
And that's a form of self-righteousness, like he was saying. Like, be more like me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, what you doing ain't working. Be more like me.
Right.
It's a little bit better. Mm-hmm. Like, nah, bro. Mm-hmm. Like, and that's what I had to understand on my journey of understanding, the Lord more.
Right.
Understanding, spirituality more. Like, I had to understand that everybody have different journeys.
Right.
And the reason why people got different journeys because people have different lessons to learn.
Come on now.
So if we all had the same journey and the lessons, it wouldn't be no point of us being individuals. We might as well just be one.
Right.
But because God gave us, the chance to be individuals and make our own choices. And that's what God gave every man, free will.
Yes, sir.
So because of that, hey, everybody got to make their moderation known. Like, everybody got to make their choice known. Like, what you deciding to do. Like, what you deciding to do. Like, it's you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Do that.
Right.
Like, and don't be trying to talk about what somebody else got going on. That's what I'm learning too now. We all got to grow from that point, bro. Mm-hmm. Like, being the judge.
Yes.
Like, and that's been my main, like, I've been praying about that because I have, bro. I talk about, like, stuff that I feel have a problem with. Right. Without really understanding the fullness of the situation. Like, we'll talk about people. We'll put negativity on situations we don't agree with. But at the end of the day, bro, like, you don't know. Like, I don't know. Nobody knows but God. So tap into him. And if you feel like the situation is bad, talk to God about it and move on. And if you can help the situation, help the situation. But I feel like I wasted a lot of time in times past just talking. You know what I'm saying? How about finding a way that you can actually help?
Real talk.
Because that's easier to do. Like, I feel like that's better to do. Like, find a way that you can help the situation instead of sitting back and judging the situation And I've been going through a moment of, you know, self-assessment, just assessing myself. Like, why do I feel the need to judge on this level? Like, why do I feel the need to talk about this? Because I ain't gonna lie, some situations I be feeling some type of way personally. And like some situations be close to home and I still be wanting to talk about it and I still be wanting to cast judgment. But I don't care how close it's home. I don't care how close home it is. Like, it still don't give us a right to judge somebody else. They got their own journey. Like, pray for people.
All right.
That's a habit I'm trying to hit. That's a habit I'm trying to establish more. Like, just pray for people.
You got it. You on your way, man. You acknowledging it. You know
Right
what I mean? A lot of folks don't do that.
For
So
sure.
you definitely on your way. And another thing I recognize too, man, like when it come to judging, I had to recognize like when I would look at something as right or wrong, what I consider wrong or what I may see as wrong is some good in it. And I believe that's for everything. That's extreme.
Go. Like, give me an example of that.
Okay. All right, simple example. We gonna keep using the same dude about the dude in the street.
Yeah.
You got a friend in the street, you know, he engaging in risky behaviors or whatever. And let's say one day, you know, he eventually gets caught by the police and end up having to go to jail. I'm just making up this story off the top of my head. And he ends up having to go to jail, and he ends up being in a cell with an even younger dude. You know what I mean?
Wow.
That probably do the same thing that he does.
Yeah.
Now, they sitting in the cell talking, they sharing stories, because that what happened in jail. We telling stories all day long, because ain't nothing else to do.
True.
So, this older dude, he giving this young dude game. You know what I mean? And it's making him think. Now, the conversation could be conversations on how not to get caught, which could be looked at as good. Could be looked at as bad.
Yeah.
But that's the point.
Yeah.
Even in wrong, it could be good. But he could also be teaching this young dude, hey, don't do this no more. And he might be really hearing him because he's getting it from a person that's living it instead of somebody on the outside that never did it that's judging him.
Talk, bro.
You dig what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that's the good that can come out of a wrong. It's
Yes.
always there if you look. And I know it could be hard to accept when you think about stuff like rape and all that kind of stuff, man.
Yeah,
it could be hard. But I mean, my heart goes out to rape victims. You know what I mean? It's a lot more out here than we are aware of.
For sure.
Seriously.
For sure.
Seriously. So even in a situation like that, a woman ends up getting raped and, you know, what if it sends her onto a spiritual journey? You know what I mean? She grows closer to God because of that situation.
Right.
And now she has a testimony to help another woman who may deal with that. That's the good that came out of a wrong. It's always there if you look for it. So when we judging people, we can choose to look at all the bad they doing, but let's see. You know what I mean? Let's see if it's some good in it. You know what I mean? Not just so we can feel more comfortable with them doing wrong, but let's check our judgment and understand that it's not for us to be doing.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah.
I'm glad you went that direction because this take me back to the last point, and then we're going to move on in the conversation. It's a CD in the car that I got in there, Bishop Durham.
Bishop Durham.
One of the things that he said on his tape was, like, stop judging. He said these exact words. He said, stop judging people. He said, don't you know you can't even talk about somebody being sick if you ain't never had their sickness. You know what I'm saying? Like, something as simple as that. Like you really can't talk about nothing that you ain't been through. So that was my whole point. Like, how you judge somebody else's journey, but you ain't been through that journey.
Right.
Like, how do you even know to even say something about it?
Right.
Like, so it's crazy. That's how I know, like, judgment is really ignorant. Like, it's really like a sign of lack of maturity, you know, lack of understanding. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, I look back at all of the stuff that I ramble about. It's really, I'm probably mad at something. I'm mad at something because I don't really understand it. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it is. Like, I'm mad at certain things because I don't understand it.
right. You don't know their story.
Just leave it alone. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's gonna. Boosie said, "You don't know my struggle,
talk.
So you don't know my hook. You don't know what I done been through." And that's real talk.
That's real, bro.
We sit back and be like, "Why you doing that? Why you doing that?" Man, you don't know what that motivation is, man. Mm-hmm. And I think that's when we see a person that's doing what we perceive as wrong, we should talk to them and be like, "What's on your mind?" You know what I mean? If you ever need somebody to talk to, come holler at me.
Nah, for real.
Because it be stuff going on that a lot of people don't be talking about, don't have a chance to talk about. You know what I mean?
And then too, man, I had an experience where one of my little homies, bro, I call him nephew. You know what I'm saying? Because I got a lot of young people that I feel like I can be a positive influence to.
That's right.
You know, and in my being a positive influence, you know, I get certain young men that talk to me and tell me certain things that they be going through in life, like real life situations, like gunplay, all of that. So one of the things that I noticed, like in my conversation with talking to bro, he talked about the yearning of talking to somebody that really understands what he going through. So really, that really means like you want to talk to somebody who actually been through what you going through.
Real talk.
Because you honestly don't even feel like, okay, like I can tell you, bro, like it's gonna be all right, bro. Like try to do something else or try to do that. But like I don't really understand how hard it is because I ain't doing what you doing.
Right.
So like to really hear advice from a person who really have that temptation of like going to slide. You know what I'm saying? Like you got the option to stay at the crib or go slide tonight. Or you got the option to stay at the crib or go rob tonight. Like real life situations. So it's like they be wanting people to talk about denying that temptation, who don't went through that for real, how they actually came out of getting out of that.
Right.
Like how did that transition? Like how did you make that change? What was that process like?
It seemed real then. It's like if you can do it, then I got more hope that I can do it too.
Exactly, bro.
But if you ain't never been through it, you just, hey, it jump hard. You saying telling me that I can, man, I ain't trying to hear that, man. You don't even know you don't know what the day-to-day is, man.
That's why I try to listen and try to tell them, like, at least try to stay in contact with God. You know what I'm saying? At least try to pray.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? If you can't pray, I understand. I'll pray for you.
That's right.
But you did what I'm saying, like try to pray. Because I can't really sit here and tell you what and what not to do. All I can sit and tell you is try. Because I can't really tell you. I really can't tell you nothing to be 100.
Yeah.
Like I can't tell you nothing. But I can tell you the best that I can tell you, which is why I said in the beginning, like, you might not have the best advice for this young man or whoever you talking to. But you can offer something good. You can offer something positive to the situation. Like,
sometimes folks just need somebody to sit with them, man.
Just listen, you know what I'm saying? Just be with them, like.
That's what I learned from that book of Job, man. And when everything started going to shit in Job's life, y'all can judge me because of what I'm talking about church, but man, God's still working on me. But when everything was hitting the fan with Job, the three dudes came. I wish I could remember their names, but I can't. But they came. And initially, they just sat with him. You dig what I'm saying? Just kicked it with him. Didn't have nothing to say. And he just sitting there struggling. And then they had the thought to start talking. And what they did was they started saying stuff like, you done did something wrong, Job. What you done did, Job? We know you done did something because this kind of stuff happen to people that do this, and this wrong thing. You dig what I'm saying? But if you go back to the beginning of the story, this whole thing happened because God allowed Satan to do this to show how faithful that Job was. Yes. You know what I'm saying? But see, meanwhile, they talking all this junk. You did that wrong. You did that wrong. But they wrong in saying that he wrong.
Right.
They don't even know. They don't know the whole situation.
Talk, bro.
You get what I'm saying? Just like I said earlier, you don't know the whole situation. But see, what they initially did was all that Job needed. Sit with him.
Yes, bro.
He ain't asked y'all to be telling him what he did wrong. All he needed was for y'all to just come kick it with him while he going through it. So all that judgment wasn't needed. The judgment was actually wrong. And I think that's the thing that we got to remember. That's the biggest thing. Because a lot of people like to think about Job and say, if God take it away, he'll give it back. Yeah, that's definitely one of the messages. But the number one thing I received when I finally read the chapter was keep your mouth closed sometimes and just be there with a person.
Yes, sir.
Just think about people in the nursing home. Sometimes they just want somebody in the room with them because it's something about that. Just not being alone, just somebody with you.
Energy.
Energy, man, that's it.
Yeah, bro. Energy is shit. I mean, that's really that's how you can tell whether something living or not.
Yeah.
I mean,
you can feel it.
Yeah,
like you know when somebody in your house. You know what I mean? You can feel that.
It's vibrant.
Right.
But man, moving on to the next part of our conversation, of course, we doing our segment of what you learn. So we tapping in. We already know you got something heavy. You already done tapped into something heavy just in this interview, with this conversation already.
Yeah, right.
But just talk about something that you learned, bro. What's something that you learned recently, or anything valuable that you can give to the people that's listening for them to use, that'll be valuable to them.
Man, it's pretty much simple for the day, man. I'm on this grateful journey. And I'm just learning to remain grateful even if things don't play out the way I planned them. And I feel like I done said that before. But, that's a constant journey because, it's going to always be stuff coming at us.
It hit different when you living it.
Yeah, man. So just remembering that and making it a habit and also telling myself to be grateful before, before something happens, you know what I mean?
True.
Because sometimes that could be like, something happens and then I tell myself, okay, this ain't what I really wanted, but I'm grateful. But now I'm starting to be in a place of, okay, when nothing's going on, whatever happens, I'm going to be grateful.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So when it comes, I'm more prepared.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So
like nothing has to necessarily happen for you to be grateful.
Right.
Yeah. You just have the spirit of gratitude, period.
All the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Real talk. That's it. You said it.
That's what's up, bro. That's what's up. I applaud that for sure.
For sure.
Man.
What you got?
Something I learned, bro. Well, it's something I ain't just learned. It's something I actually been implementing and have been implementing. And I just realized like I haven't shared it. Mm-hmm. But I'm pretty sure it's nothing new under the sun. I'm pretty sure like people heard of it. Mm-hmm. But what I like to do, man, what I learned is like connecting something that you love to do to a goal. And I feel that that'll make the goal easier to attain. For instance, what I like to do is reward myself with the things that I like to do. So I set a goal, right? But my reward for me accomplishing that goal is something that I enjoy doing. For instance, I work out dang near every day, right? Mm-hmm. So if I want to go work out, but I also want to watch this show that I want to catch up on. So instead of just wasting my day watching this show because I have the freedom to do that, instead of just, I just want to watch this show. Mm-hmm. I want to accomplish my goals. So instead of watching that show first, what I'm going to do is be like, you know what? I'm going to reward myself for watching that show after I go to the gym.
Okay.
So I connected something to that with something I already enjoy doing and something that I'm already going to do. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of like making sure you remember to take something so you put it by the door because you're going to got to walk out the door to leave. So you're going to grab it because you see it at the door. You're going to remind yourself that, hey, I got to take this with me.
Right.
So I connected that and I put it together so I'm serving myself and I'm not neglecting myself. Like I'm serving myself and also caring for, my pleasures. Yes, like sir. I'm finding balance with it too. Like, okay, like it's not good to have too much entertainment and it's also not good to have no entertainment.
That's right. Because
you got to have balance in your life. So I just balance it out. Like for another thing for my people that's on a diet. Okay, like let's say if you want to eat your favorite snack, but you said you wanted to like, let's say you wanted to read a page of this book that you started, right? Mm-hmm. But you know you haven't read yet, and it's getting closer to lunchtime and you hungry. So like if you know that you're gonna already eat, like you're gonna do that because you're not gonna starve yourself. So why not go ahead and make that a part of your goal? Like, okay, instead of eating lunch right now, I'm gonna discipline myself for like, okay, 10, 15 more minutes. Let me read this one page and then let me fix my lunch and eat. Now you don't kill two birds with one stone, because it's like, okay, I'm hungry. I know I'm gonna have to eat anyway. And I have a goal set for the day, which is to read this one page. I could just eat and just relax.
Right.
But I'm a grow through this process. So I'm gonna neglect something. I'm gonna knock this instant gratification spirit that's trying to take over me.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna wait. And I'm gonna make myself stronger by doing something that's important first. And then you do, you know what I'm saying, your reward. So that's what I wanted to add to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Connect something you love with your goal. You know what I'm saying? So it make it easier to accomplish it.
Yeah, that's tough. I like that. I like that a lot.
And I appreciate that. I'm glad. You know, I don't even know why it didn't come up for me to say that. Didn't say that because I've been doing it. Like I came up with that game mentally with myself because I don't be feeling like I deserve shit. like I be like, I don't be feeling like I take no break or nothing. So what I do is I connect everything with a goal. Like I connect anything that I like to do with a goal. Like if you want to do this, bro, make sure you accomplish this first. So like this, even like right now, like I'm gonna do something that I love to do after doing this podcast. Like I already knew that I'm gonna reward myself with this thing after I do what I need to do.
That's right.
So that's what makes you do it. Like you already know, like I'm gonna reward myself. Like I'm gonna do this after I do that. So let me go ahead and do this first. Like it just helps you, man. It just give you that extra push.
For sure. I like that.
But,
I'm gonna start implementing that. For sure.
For sure, bro. But man, ending the show, man, I appreciate all of the stuff you added to this show, man.
I appreciate what you, man. My gratitude for you, cuz, out the roof, man.
Man, nah, for you out the roof, bro.
Real,
You
man.
becoming clutch, bro. For real. In real life, like in real time, you come clutch every time. Like, even outside the podcast, like, you pull up, man, and, like, you help me with the company when you didn't have to. Like, for real, you been behind me. You, like, give me advice. Even before you came on the team as, you know, chief of marketer, like, you was always in my corner giving advice, you know, just kicking the shit, you know, dropping gems for me, you know what I'm saying? Or even, like, with the credit thing, like, when it came down to building business credit, like, before I knew anything about it, you started having experiences with business credit, and everything that you learned, you sent it to me. Like, you ain't have to do that. Like, that was straight love, and that was straight care and support. So you've always been there outside of the stuff that people see on social media or the stuff that people gonna see us working and doing together. Because a lot of people work together and don't really fuck with each other outside of that, bro.
You're right.
But we got real love and we got genuine, you know, energy when it comes to one another. So I had to say that and put that out there.
Oh, man, I just want to add on to that, man. Real talk, it's a pleasure. And it's easy. Because like I said, my gratitude for you is through the roof, because it's not a lot of dudes moving like the way you moving. And it's like, it gives somebody like me hope. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I ain't out here tripping.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I ain't thinking the way I'm thinking and nobody else is seeing it this way.
Yeah.
So for me to see you, you know, out here moving and shaking, taking initiative and planning, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, somebody get it that's close to me. That's a blessing in itself. So, man, any way that I can feed into you, man, I'm front and center, cuz.
Man, thank God for that, bro. And it's been a pleasure for episode. Well, I don't even like to use episode because it sounds so short. I like to keep the conversation going. That's why I labeled them conversations, because conversations don't end. You know what I'm saying? It's an ongoing conversation. So for this particular conversation on this day, because tomorrow not promised, that's why we say conversations. Conversation 9, we'll see y'all next week for conversation 10. Is there anything left you want to say, Vic?
Nah, peace.
Peace.
For real.
Real peace.
Peace.
God peace. And I'm co-host John Michael Best.
And I'm your other co-host, Victor Thomas II.
Man, and we out, man. See y'all next week for conversation 10.
All right.